Alright YouTubes, how are we all doing? I hope you're well. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is just going to be a quick painting video. I didn't get any footage of the preparation or anything on this car. But it's a painting video. It's just in single stage, high solid direct gloss. So the vehicle I'm painting is it's a Nissan Navara, and it's just this rear side panel. And it wasn't nothing major. There's a bit of a crease through here, a couple of little creases in the wheel arch, and a little bit of rust around the arch. So Reese has done all this job. He's done everything, all the repair, prep, everything up to the point. He even primed it as well. He's done a really good job. It's come out really well. So he's used white primer on it, and yeah, all I've had to do is mask it up. So yeah. One little thing that I have done on this is I just done after it was all prepped and masked and degreased, I've done a little soft edge around this wheel arch, just with a bit of 1-inch tape, and I've just fluffed in a little light coat of just aerosol stone guard, Mipa aerosol stone guard in light grey, and just got a tiny little bit to do here. The guy himself prepped it up, and I've done the same here. Put a little bit of epoxy on the bare metal that he sanded off. And a little bit of stone guard just fluffed in there, aerosol, and just a little soft edge on there, just to do a little blow in on the little bit of rust that was there. So yeah, nothing major, pretty straightforward job. Colours, I think it's QM1 the colour code, which is quite an old Nissan white colour. Lots of variants on it. So yeah, I've had this mixed in single stage. So we put the camera on it, and it picked the standard shade, but it didn't look too good, the standard shade on the chip. So the next best one was a redder lighter shade, and I found with Mipa, and when I had Octral and used an Octral single stage, a lot of the whites seem to be the redder lighter shades for some reason. They just seem a little bit better. So yeah, we went with that shade. We corrected it a little bit, and I've just had it pre-mixed. So it's in Mipa OC pre-mixed. OC stands for one coat. Probably mentioned it a couple of times before on the channel when I've used this paint. It's 2:1 up to 5% thinner. I do it 2:1, and I do about 15% thinner, and put 2 coats on, and it does flow out okay with that. And I use the HS25 hardener because you get a better gloss with the HS hardeners. You can put MS hardener in it. I find the gloss isn't that great with the MS hardener, so you get decent gloss. Just got to get it thinned out a little bit to get it to flow. And yeah, the spray gun I'll be putting it on with is Satajet 5000 RP. And that's got a 1.2 O setup. Well, they're not O's and I's on this version, so just your traditional 1.2 setup. And over pressurize it a little bit, about 2.1, 2.2 bar, and wind the fluid in from resistance. I wind it in about half a turn, and over thin the paint. So just to get it to sort of sit on there flat, and it's not too bad. Good coverage, a good gloss. But you do run the risk of it being orange peely, where it's a single coat, high solid single stage, that you do find they're quite thick and a bit like treacle. So yeah, that's the way I get it on there, and it's just about getawayable. So that's what's going on there. So yeah, that's it. It's all prepped and obviously ready to go. I'll get it all blown off and tacked off, get the colour mixed with the activator, and we'll get some paint on it. Cool, what a racket. I'm only messing about. I wouldn't be putting that sort of music on my videos. The only music I put on is Oasis. I don't know if you know, but I'm a massive Oasis fan, and I did get tickets. Anyway, enough about that. Thanks for tuning in and welcome back to the channel. Yep, this video is another 2K direct gloss video. I must admit, I don't like doing the 2K jobs that much, but they're good for commercial jobs. They're quick to paint, obviously, and they're cheaper to paint as well in 2K. Couple of crucial things really with 2K direct gloss, if you are using them on cars, is obviously colour. Got to get the colour right, because you're not really going to be blending, you're going to be going edge to edge. And replicating the finishes is difficult with a high solid 2Ks like this Mipa OC, which stands for one coat. It's a binder system, so you can have it mixed in various with various binders. You can have it as a medium solid, as a high solid, as like a PUR, so like an industrial type paint, and then various gloss levels, matte and satin and all that, depending on the binder. So yeah, it's been trial and error with this 2K. I stick with it because obviously my paint system's Mipa, and I like to keep everything Mipa now. All my jobs from start to finish will have Mipa products on there. I try not to use anything else now. I've always mixed and matched with other paint schemes that I've had, but with this one, yeah, I'm getting on well with most of the products in the range. So yeah, I want to do the 2K, and for colour matching, so I've got colour chips obviously to where I haven't got a scheme. I've got colour chips for reference, and my Spectro as well. So yeah, it's been trial and error with this system. With this, I've tried it with the MS hardener. It flows out better, it goes on flatter, but you get more of a shriveled finish to it, and the gloss isn't great. I've done a few with the MS hardener. It is easier to apply, but you do lose opacity with the MS hardener, and it's harder to polish as well, and the gloss level isn't great. So I found with the HS hardeners, the gloss level's probably the best on the OC, but it doesn't go down very flat, it doesn't lay down very flat. So like I say, it's been trial and error, messing about with it. So over thinning it by another 10% and turning the pressure up to about 2.3 bar on the gun really helps with it. You just got to be quick with it, and yeah, it is quite susceptible to running there. But you can see that first coat, it's not a really heavy coat, but you know, I know that panel was white anyway, but you'll get coverage pretty much in the first coat with this OC. On most colours, reds cover no problem with it. They don't with the MS hardener, so that's why I avoid the MS hardener for polishing and gloss level really. So what you gain with one thing, you'd lose with another, so you can get a flatter finish with an MS hardener in that paint, but you don't get as good gloss, and then you can get a better gloss with a HS hardener, but it doesn't lay as flat, so you got to try and find a happy medium with it. But yeah, I definitely prefer it with a HS hardener, and it polishes really well as well. So yeah, it's just 2 coats. I'll give it about with the over thinning of it, give it about a good 10 minutes in between coats, just so I know that first coat's pretty stable and the second coat's not going to start dragging it off of edges, and mixing together with the second coat doesn't sort of start mixing together with the first coat where it's still a bit too runny, and then it will start running off of edges. Especially on commercials, you normally find you've got feature lines that are easy to run off as well. So yeah, I do all the vans, I do all the commercials, unless they're obviously metallics, but all the straight colour commercials I do with the OC. And car wise, I do bumpers with the OC, as long as I know the colour match is going to be good and it's a straight colour car. Obviously I do bumpers with the OC as well. I have done the odd bonnet and stuff with it, as you know, for cheap trade jobs, but yeah, it doesn't give the same appearance as base coat and clear on cars. If a car's got base coat and clear on it from factory, and then you put you do a couple of panels in the middle down the side of a car or something and put 2K direct gloss on it, you can tell, even if the colour's really good match, it doesn't look the same. The gloss doesn't look the same. You can just tell. So yeah, I don't really, as a rule, put it on car bodies that are done in base coat and clear. But yeah, like I say, 15% thinners in that, and turning the pressure up, it really works. And yeah, there's a fine line between it being too wet and then starting to sort of pull on itself and start dragging down a little bit. You have to be really careful with that. It does fire on there really wet with the extra thinners in there. But yeah, like I say, they're good. It's good for commercials. There are, there's loads of 2K direct glosses out there, and they all vary in the way they apply and mixing ratios and thinners. But I do find with a lot of them, with the high solid stuff, where they sort of designed to cover in one coat for commercial work and industrial work, I do find that you have to over thin them. Not just this Mipa one, but others that I've used. I've even used the Standox one, Standard Fleet, which is their commercial type solid colour paint, and gloss is fantastic on it, and it polishes really well, and it's not cheap, the Standox one, the Standard Fleet, but that can be really heavy looking and orange peely as well. So yeah, to get that pressure up in the gun, get it to atomise finer, and try and get it to lay down flat first time. So yeah, it's just a quick video on this one. Reece, like I said at the beginning, Reece done all the prep, the repair, the prep, everything. He done it all from start to finish, and he done a really good job. There was no issues with it whatsoever. I just need to get him to that next stage now where he could put the paint on this, because he done all the hard work to make that job look good. And I took all the glory by putting the paint on it, which is usual for a painter. But yeah, it'd be great to see him start doing jobs like this. They're jobs like this are good practice for him. So anyway, this is the end results. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it, and we'll see you again in the next one. Look after yourselves. Right then YouTube, so that's the Nissan Navara truck all finished, and I'll give you a quick look and it all come out okay. Colour's decent, and yeah, it's out the gun, didn't have to polish it, come out nice and clean, and Reece done a really good job of that. He's done that whole job, everything right up to me just having to mask it and paint it, and yeah, all the procedures he done is really good. I'm really pleased. He's coming on really well, and now he's getting to grips with putting primer on. Hopefully next stage we might be able to get him to get some paint on there, but we'll see. But yeah, he done really well, so yeah, fair play to him. And yeah, single stage, they're not the nicest jobs to do. I don't enjoy doing them, to be fair. And the Mipa OC, it's okay. You find with a lot of the high solid direct glosses, I think it must be just for the data sheets to meet the criteria, for legislation. That they're meant to cover really well in one coat, but the downside to that is it's hard to get a really good finish out of them. They're like treacle. They're not all like it, and there are probably there are better, easier single stages out there to apply. But I stick with the Mipa because you know, you're not blending with single stages color wise. So I stick with the Mipa one because to get the color right, otherwise, you know, I can't be dealing with just buying it pre-mixed. So I haven't got a single stage scheme here, so if I just go in blind and buy a mix, you know, from the color code from someone, it'd just be a standard shade. I've got no reference for color. That's worse to me than having the finish not that great. I've got to get the color right, and obviously with my system here, it all corresponds on the system, on the computer with my color chips and everything. So I've got reference. I can check colors before I order, and obviously with the Spectro I can camera it as well and send that Spectro formula over to the people that I, you know, over to paint services in Siren where I buy my paint from. I can send that formula over to them and they can mix it, you know, from my Spectro. So that's why I stick with Mipa on the OC, and there's loads of options with it, changing the hardener, changing the binder to turn it from a HS to an MS. But I find this way, this is the best way for me, but it is quite difficult to get on there right, is to overfin it by 10%, so it's 5% normally. I put 15% in it, or sometimes just under. To overfin it, you've got to be really careful and just put 2 coats of it on, but you've got to be fast with it. You can't, as soon as you overload it, especially with that amount of thinners in there, it's going to start running. But I can get it flat. I can get it decent with 15% thinners in there. Just got to wind the fluid control in a fair bit, you know, half a turn, 3/4 of a turn in, and get it and turn the pressure up as well. So it is a lot of fannying about to get it to lay down nice, but it lays down all right. It looks like factory, you know, stuff like this. They're done in direct gloss from factory. So yeah, I don't want to be doing base coat and clear on the commercial stuffs really. You're going to get a better finish with doing it in base coat and clear, but yeah, commercials, it really wants, you know, the 2K on there really. So yeah, that's why I use the Mipa, and I find the HS25 harden, you know, the HS hardeners give way better gloss, a gloss that's supposed to look right. And yeah, like I say, you just got to overfin it, get it on there fast, and wind your fluid in and turn the pressure up, and I can get it to lay flat. If I don't do it that way, it goes on there, it's like treacle, it goes on there really orange peely, and it's really hard to get flat. And other ones I've used, I was on Octral before I was on Mipa, and the Octral 2K was the same, really thick in the tin, covers really well, and I used to fit, that was 10%, 2:1, 10% thinner, and I used to thin it 35% and put 2 coats on it. And yeah, you know, that's a massive jump from 10% to 35% thinner. But that's the only way I could get that to lay down flat. It was like treacle otherwise. So they are, you know, a lot of them are quite similar. It's all, I think a lot of it's to do with legislation, keeping the solvent content down, meeting the criteria in this country, well, Europe anyway. That's sort of why they're like that. And that's what they're for. They're designed to be put in one coat, but you can't do it like that. It doesn't, the finish don't look right. But yeah, there are better ones out there for definite that will do the job, but I can't go in blind on the colours. There's no point me having a nice flat finish if the colour's wrong. It's no good to me. So there we go. That's it. Single stage job, come out okay, and yeah, I'm sure the customer will be happy, and Reece done a really good job of repairing it and prepping it. So that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it. Like, share and subscribe and all that good stuff. We'll see you again in the next one. Look after yourselves. Cheers. Down, 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 down.